The late afternoon sun hung low over the small town of Clearwater, where Spanish moss swayed gently from old oak trees, and everyone claimed to know everyone. But familiarity didn't always mean fairness. Marcus Hill, a tall, soft-spoken black man in his mid-30s, was doing what he did every Thursday, delivering hot meals to elderly veterans in need. Dressed in a faded navy hoodie, cargo pants, and worn sneakers, he moved quickly from his van to the porches of those who had served, his list of addresses carefully folded in his back pocket. He had just left Mr. Donnelly's porch, a Vietnam veteran who now lived alone and barely walked without a cane, when it happened. A white woman standing across the street with a golden retriever tugging at its leash narrowed her eyes. Her name was Meredith Crowley, and in her world Marcus didn't belong. She didn't recognize him. She didn't ask questions. She called the police. "There's a suspicious black man on Maple Avenue," she whispered into her phone. "He keeps going onto people's porches and taking things. I think he's stealing packages." By the time Marcus returned to his van to grab the next set of meals, two patrol cars had pulled up fast, sirens briefly chirping. Officers jumped out, hands on holsters. "Sir, step away from the vehicle and keep your hands where we can see them." Marcus froze. His breath caught. He did exactly what he was told. "What's this about?" he asked calmly. "We got a report of a possible theft in progress," one officer snapped. "You matching the description?" "I'm just delivering meals," Marcus said, slowly pulling a clipboard from his van. "See this? These are names, veterans. I've got meals for each of them." The officers didn't look at the list. One started inspecting the back of the van. Meredith crossed the street, arms folded, triumphant. "See? Told you. Doesn't look like any delivery guy I've ever seen." Just then, a voice barked from a nearby porch. "Hey!" It was Mr. Donnelly, gripping his cane, his face red with anger. "What the hell is going on?" "Sir, do you know this man?" one officer asked. "Know him? That man brings me food every week. Best part of my week. He helps all of us old vets when no one else will." Another veteran, a black woman named Sergeant Lorraine Fields, stepped out of her home across the street and added, "Marcus is family around here. He served meals when the VA forgot about us. He's the reason we get through the week." The air shifted. The officer's demeanor changed. One of them finally glanced at the clipboard and nodded awkwardly. "We're sorry, sir. Just following up on a call." Marcus said nothing. His eyes met Meredith's. Her smug expression had vanished, replaced with a flicker of shame. I thought," she stammered, "you didn't look like you belonged." "No," Marcus said softly, "I belong. More than you know." The story spread quickly. A local news crew interviewed Marcus and the veterans he served. Social media lit up with praise for him and criticism for the bias he faced. Donations poured into the veteran food program, allowing Marcus to expand it citywide. Weeks later, Meredith showed up at a community dinner, awkward and humbled, and offered a public apology to Marcus in front of the very people she had misjudged. He accepted it, not because he had to, but because he believed kindness had more power than hate. And that night, as he passed out meals to the men and women who once wore the uniform, they stood and clapped for him.